60. There we
Oh,
go.
perfect. Let's go.
Yay, we've
Let's
solved
go.
it. All right. So I am known as Vegan Gains, so obviously the first thing I'm going to want to debate you on is veganism. So are you familiar with the concept?
Yeah. So you just like don't eat like animals and beef and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's the very basic idea behind it. So vegans don't eat any animal products. That includes meat, fish, dairy, eggs. We also don't wear any leather, fur, wool. But
Yeah.
if you want the real philosophical definition, veganism is a moral philosophy and lifestyle that seeks to grant animals the same rights as human beings if they were to be trade equalized to animals. So
Okay.
basically, what that means is we agree with the fundamental principles of human rights. We don't think human beings should be killed. We don't think human beings should be mistreated, like, raped. We don't think you should be able to steal from people, enslave them, stuff like that. Very basic.
Yeah.
We just extend those same rights to animals. So, in the same kind of context where we would grant human beings these rights, we would also grant animals these rights. So, we're not
Okay.
advocating for dogs to be able to get a driver's license or have a right to vote, because in a similar context, if a human being were to have the same mental capacity as a dog, we wouldn't want a human being voting or getting a driver's license because they'd probably see a squirrel, swerve the car off the road, and then ram into a tree or kill somebody. But, the
Right.
basics, yeah, but like the basics, right to life, right to not be abused, tortured, stolen from, that's the general idea. So,
Right.
what,
So I mean, my question would be like, so you can't have eggs.
no.
So like, how do you like have testosterone then if you can't eat beef or eggs?
Those
Are you
foods are
testing
not
yourself?
required for testosterone production.
So what's your test maxing split looking like?
Well, I actually just started taking steroids 5 days ago. But
Days?
I've been
Okay.
natural for my whole life up until August 1st of this year.
What made you
I've
decide to take steroids? Like new month, new you?
well, I've pretty much gotten to damn near the peak of what I think I can achieve naturally. I benched 410 pounds last year. I've
Damn.
gotten
Okay.
up to 6'3", 200 pounds, roughly 10% body fat.
Oh, new
So,
Chad?
if I
Okay.
wanted to go any further, the kind of risks that I would have to take as a natural lifter are just very high. I think I do have the potential to bench 500 naturally. It's just that without
Yeah.
that extra, support from the steroids, growth hormone, your tendons are much more vulnerable. You're much more likely to get injured. So, I figured, why not just go superhuman? Like the reality
Yeah.
is, everybody wants to take steroids. The only reason they don't is because they're afraid of needles or they don't know how to use these drugs safely. So,
Right.
I just did a lot of research. I know some medical doctors and IFBB pro bodybuilders who know what they're doing, who can help me. I've gotten some good information, and I'm just starting with fairly low doses. It is a performance enhancing dose, so it's 30 milligrams
Mhm.
of testosterone cypionate per day and 4 IUs of growth
Yeah.
hormone per day.
Okay. I mean, don't you think that you'd be able to like break out of that plateau or whatever naturally if you just added some beef to your diet?
I don't see why that would be the case.
Or is that like your like protein? Like there's like hella protein in beef. And there's like cholesterol, which I heard
Well, there's
cholesterol like
also
boosts your
hella protein in
testosterone.
tofu, and your body creates all the cholesterol it needs. Cholesterol does
But is
not have
it
an
is it like
association with
testosterone
testosterone.
built from like cholesterol though? It is,
Yeah,
right?
so testosterone, it's literally in the name. It is a sterol. Cholesterol being the largest, the majority of sterols in your body that are produced are cholesterol. Those hormones are based off of cholesterol, but your body produces all the cholesterol it needs. And there's no association between total and free androgens and your serum cholesterol or dietary cholesterol. So you can eat a ton of eggs, eat a ton of saturated fat, make your cholesterol go through the roof. It's not going to boost your testosterone.
Well, what would you say to like Nathan Sages? Do you know that guy? He's like cholesterol is like the building block of testosterone. He actually got me eating like 5 eggs every night before bed. Last night I had 6.
What's his name?
Nathan Sages. He's like a test maxer. Because like I've just been eating like honestly I feel so much better just like even mentally like I feel my test is higher. Been eating beef, eggs, and I just kind of feel like that more like like that that testosterone.
So
I've
does
been
this
making
guy go
gains,
by
mental
Testosterone
power.
Coach on Instagram?
It's like shredded sages I think on Instagram.
Yeah, Shredded Sages, and he says
You
he's
know this guy?
Testosterone Coach.
Yeah, he says
Um,
like beef and eggs like all day. You should debate him honestly. That'd be very interesting.
yeah, well, this is very easy to disprove. So, the
Okay.
largest study that I know of ever conducted on this topic compared vegans, vegetarians, and meat eaters. They looked at IGF-1 along with free and total androgens. Vegans had the highest level of free and total androgens. There was no statistically significant difference between the groups, but if you look at the levels on the chart, they did have higher total and free androgens. Now
I feel like this is not true though.
they
Like I feel
also
like
noted
I'm not trying to.
the researchers also noted there was no association between dietary cholesterol consumption and serum cholesterol and free and total androgens. So
I
it's
mean, my thing is, I'm not trying to diss you, but you seem to kind of have like that soy pitch in your voice a little. Like you kind of got that, like you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of got like that
well,
like
hey
soy boy
man.
tone a little.
If you were to talk to Mike Tyson on the phone, you might think he's kind of a beta retard. Like I play with
Good point.
pigeons. I really like pigeons, and I like it when they kiss. But he'll fuck you up. So
That's a
look,
good point. Yeah.
I've gotten pretty big. 6'3", 200 pounds naturally. I've gotten to a 410 bench. I think my arms right now are about 18 inches. So I'm a big dude. I've gotten pretty strong, and I haven't needed any meat doing that.
Okay. Okay. Um, I mean, I would argue like animals like they don't really get like tortured though, right? Like like I'm pretty sure there's like a more like ethical way. Like even like in the religion of Islam, there's like a thing like they have to kill them in a certain way where it doesn't like harm the animal. It's called like halal killing, and you have to like kill the animals in a certain way where they don't suffer. What
Yeah,
do you think about that?
so you can actually look up the video on my channel. I'm pretty sure it's still available. So halal slaughter is horrific. They literally just take an animal, slit its throat open. So there's no stunning method involved. They literally just slice its throat open. They writhe in pain, scream. Um, Now, the video I took of this, it wasn't a technically halal slaughterhouse. It was a kosher slaughterhouse, but kosher slaughter is halal. Halal isn't kosher, but kosher is halal. If that makes sense to you. So it's basically the
Yeah.
same. So, a rabbi blesses the meat and then they slice its throat open. Um, According to the Muslim religion, as long as it's kosher, it's still halal. But according to Jews, if it's halal, it's not kosher because it has to be blessed by a rabbi. Now, you can give it a look yourself. It's on my channel. It's some of the most horrific shit you'll ever see. They take a live animal. They don't stun it. They don't do anything like give it a medication to put it to sleep. They don't stun it in any way, like with electricity or a bolt gun. They literally just slice their throats open. They scream and writhe around in pain for about 1 to 2 minutes. And then they put them up on a hook, and sometimes they're still squirming around and they haven't totally gone dead. So that's halal slaughter. It's horrific and awful. And if anything, it is more, violent and torturous than meat in, the
There's
normal industry.
somebody in my chat saying no, kosher is not always halal. If the animal was mistreated or tortured, it doesn't meet halal standards.
Well, same
What
with
would you say to
halal.
that?
So again, anybody who's ever worked in a kosher or halal slaughterhouse will tell you this. The amount of animals they need to slaughter, there is no way 100% of the time you will meet kosher or halal standards. So you are going to run into situations where you do not technically meet, the standard agreed upon definition of halal or kosher. But regardless, even if everything goes perfectly, the animal is fully conscious and you're slicing their throat open. So like imagine if I were to execute you. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the cartel execution videos.
But they just like shoot them, right?
No. Well, now actually, what the cartel likes to do is they'll lay you down flat on the ground and they'll step on the back of your neck and basically crush the back of your neck like a cockroach because it doesn't leave any blood, so there's no mess to clean up. But
Oh God.
you can find some. They might be gone off the internet. Like this is back in the live leak days, but the cartel used to like just cut people's head off with a kitchen knife. I've seen videos like that. That's what they're doing to these animals. So, would you rather get your head cut off with a kitchen knife, while you're fully conscious, or would you rather get stunned before having that happen, where you're not conscious? If you choose, yeah, I'd rather get knocked out first before they just cut my head off with a kitchen knife. Then you'd have to agree halal or kosher slaughter is worse than the standard industry. And if you had to choose between somebody not killing you, you getting your head cut off with a kitchen knife, or you getting knocked out first and then getting your head cut off with a kitchen knife, I think you'd choose somebody not killing you. So I'm just asking you to give that same kind of respect and consideration to animals where you don't kill them.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, you're actually making a lot of very valid points. Somebody in my chat here though says animals aren't equal to humans. Ask him if he thinks animals are equal. So do you think that animals are equal to humans?
Well, I don't know exactly what's meant by that question. I don't think women are equal to men. Like men are generally taller, stronger, better nervous system efficiency, like more. So we're not the same. We're not literally equal where there's no differences. So we're smarter. There may be certain feelings and emotions that we can have that some animals can't, or we might be able to feel certain things to a greater extent. We have four fingers, one thumb on each hand, whereas some animals have hooves. So we're not equal in the sense that we're literally the same, and we have some abilities that they don't have, and they have some abilities that we don't have. Now, what I'm simply stating is that we don't have to, say, give animals the exact same treatment as a human being. We don't have to give them the exact same level of, respect that we'd give another human. Like, you might think cows smell bad and when you go past a cow, wow, that cow stinks. I don't really care about that. All I'm asking you is to not murder them. That's it. It's really that simple. Just don't murder them. And this is, I think this is a good mental exercise for you. So again, like I mentioned at the beginning of our discussion, the idea of veganism is just extending human rights to animals. So if you're going to disagree with that proposition, then I ask you, name the trait or set of traits that are lacking in animals that, if lacking in a human being, would justify killing and eating a human being. Because again, presumably, the reason you're okay with killing animals is because they lack certain traits that we have. So, in order to be logically consistent, this has nothing to do with necessarily being human. This has to do with traits that humans possess. So tell me, what traits do humans possess that animals lack that, if lacking in a human, would take away a human's right to life?
Probably just like consciousness and like thought. Like they say humans are like the only species that's like able to perceive God. Like I'm pretty sure like if a human turns into a vegetable and like they're in a coma, sometimes they just like put them down, right? Like they just like kill them if they're like completely out of it. And I feel like
Okay.
animals kind of have that same consciousness. Like they can't speak. They can't like they don't have like inner dialogue really. They're kind of like
Okay.
NPCs.
So, like, are you saying this is a conjunction of traits? So, like, are you saying the ability to perceive God, the ability to have higher functioning reasoning, internal dialogue and
Like an inner
language?
dialogue. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
is it the conjunction, or is it like just one of those in particular?
Well, they all kind of go hand in hand, right? It's kind of like that the working mind, like to make
Okay,
you not
well,
like an NPC.
I will tell you, I cannot perceive God. So, I'm atheist, and to be more specific, I'm a nihilist.
What does
Um,
nihilist mean?
um, to put it simply, nihilism is just the truth. It's the recognition that there is no objective meaning to existence and life itself.
But that's why
You're.
you sound and look so depressed.
Oh no, I'm not
Oh
depressed. I'm loving
shit.
life, dude. I'm making
You
gains,
don't
making
sound like it or
money,
look like it.
playing video games, and I am loving life, dude. It's
But
just my. Have
like
you
you
ever
don't think
seen
there's
Bob's
any meaning
Burgers?
behind anything?
Well, have you ever seen Bob's
I've
Burgers?
heard
Like,
of
I
it.
sound like Tina. Like, there's some
I think
people with
so,
just a
yeah.
monotone voice, but I'm loving life.
Okay. Why like I guess like that's kind of like a bit subtract or whatever, but like why don't you believe that life has any meaning?
Well, objective meaning. So, life has meaning to me personally, but what I'm stating is there is no objective, stance independent meaning to life. So, meaning isn't something that you can find out in the world. Meaning is something that you produce in your mind, and anything that you feel is right or wrong or meaningful, you have to be able to impose that on the world. So that's all that means. So I can find certain things meaningful. I love girls' butts. Girls' butts are very meaningful to me, and I love touching them. I love smelling them. I love poking around down there. But
Okay, you're click
I
farming.
I'm not going to make the claim that objectively speaking, independent of any mind, girls' butts are important.
People in my chat are saying nihilist means that you hate kids, you're against kids. Do you think that kids should no longer be born?
No, that's not what nihilism means. You can be a nihilist and like children.
Okay. Okay. So, what would you think then about like God like giving like commandments and like ways to live life? Like you can't kill people, you can't steal. Like, don't you
Yeah,
think that's kind of
it's
objective?
a weak idea for weak people. Why do you need to listen to anybody else and have them tell you what you should or should not feel? So again,
Because that's just like objective morality.
well, what makes it objective?
Well, because it goes for everybody. Like it's just like, yeah, you shouldn't kill. Like, would you say it's objectively wrong to like rape a woman or like kill somebody? Like
No, not
like humans just
objective.
understand. Like, you have like an inner consciousness that tells you that's wrong.
Yeah, you have. So again, you're proving my point. Your inner consciousness is telling you that's wrong, not
But yeah, but where does that
something,
inner consciousness come from? That's innate.
not objective
That's
facts that
innate
are
from God.
independent of your own mind. So you're proving my point.
Right, but that feeling that you get didn't just like spawn there. I think that's innate from God. Like when I was like
Well, it doesn't
younger, like I used to
necessarily.
like I don't want to
So
like say anything crazy, but
first of all, let's just assume God is real, and let's assume that God gave us these innate feelings from birth. That doesn't mean killing or like murdering somebody, to be more specific, is objectively wrong. All that means is that the reason you have these subjective notions of right and wrong is because God made those subjective notions present in you.
okay. So here's a good one. If killing isn't wrong, then why do you care about like animals being killed?
Well, I didn't say killing isn't wrong. I'm a nihilist. I'm just saying, objectively
Okay,
speaking,
so how
there
would
are
you
no
debate somebody that
facts
says
about.
killing is right?
Sorry?
How would you debate somebody that says killing is right if you can't objectively say it's wrong? Like, okay, say I say it's
Yeah,
okay to
so
kill
I would
people and
test their
animals.
logical consistency. So, like, again, we're kind of assuming that, like, with these sorts of debates with veganism, we're kind of assuming that we're going to be on the same page to some extent. And I think we are on the same page that it's wrong to murder people, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is it's also wrong to murder animals. And I think we do still have a bit of a disagreement there. Now,
Is it objectively wrong to murder animals, or is it just like you
no,
personally think?
no, I personally think that, and I think you also probably personally think that. And I think I can easily demonstrate that. So again, I was going to ask you to name the trait. So name the trait that's lacking in animals that, if lacking in a human being, would justify killing human beings. So just jog my memory again. You mentioned something about mental capacity and like having the ability for language.
Yeah, like having a consciousness and not being like an NPC, you know?
Well, animals
Like getting that
clearly
one.
have a consciousness. They're not robots.
How do you know that?
Well, how do you know? Like, this is just deductive reasoning. They do have problem solving skills. They can clearly observe things and they can even observe themselves. A lot of animals can pass the mirror test. Even animals as insignificant as ants can pass the mirror test.
How do you know that's not just like programmed into them to
Well, how do you
like
know that's
ants, like
not
they, in
programmed
their
into human
DNA code?
beings?
But isn't it like their genetic DNA code that's how they know to do
We're,
certain
we're
things? Like they're
also
not
animals and
consciously
we also have
thinking.
a genetic DNA code.
Yeah, but they're not just like thinking, oh, I should carry this other ant or like carry this like whatever. They're just programmed to do that. But as humans, we control our own reality. I could go to college or I could be a streamer. You know,
Well,
it's
how do you
different.
know that? How do you know that that hasn't been genetically programmed into you? And how do you know God hasn't preordained this and you have no control over yourself?
Because I could go kill somebody right now, you free will.
Well, no, you perceive having free will, but you don't know if you have free will.
Should I test it? I mean, I've tested before. I've got up in class and wrote John Zerko on the whiteboard. That's free will.
So the issue here is you're going to have to prove that you have free will. Proving that you have free will doesn't mean doing what you want, because doing what you want may be preordained by God. God may have predetermined every single action that happens in the universe, and you have no free will, and you're his puppet, and you just think you're acting on your own will. So that's going to require a much higher standard of evidence than just simply doing what you want.
You think that we're all programmed by God to do certain things and we can't
Well,
not
that's
do
not what I'm
that?
saying. I'm just saying if you're going to say humans
That
have
makes
free
no
will,
sense.
animals don't, I don't know how you could say that's a unique aspect of humanity.
This simply is. Like, we're obviously not programmed. You have the power. When it says the kingdom of God dwells within you, you have the power to be a millionaire or be homeless. An
So,
animal has their basic genetic thing and they do the same thing. They go
so what
repopulate, go get some eggs
percentage?
or
Yeah.
whatever.
So, what percentage of humans that have ever existed do you think believe in God? It's probably pretty high, right? Like close to
I
100.
don't know off the top of my head. Probably a lot, though. There's like 2 billion Muslims alone, and then there's like 3
Well, I
billion
mean God,
Christians.
period. So that could be,
Yeah,
modern
probably
religions.
like, it's,
It's
I'd
probably
say like 80% of humans, probably maybe 80, 90%.
so you're telling me you have free will, but you do the exact same thing that the vast majority of people on the planet do. You believe in God. You have the same beliefs, same belief
Yeah, but I have
structure.
the free will not to believe in God too.
Do you?
Like I could become an atheist. Like you have free will, so you're an atheist.
Well, okay, prove it.
You're
Become an
proving my point.
atheist.
What do you
Like,
mean?
what does that mean?
What do you mean? You're saying I believe in God, that means I have no free will? Well, I have the free will not to. That's my choice to believe in God. So that really makes no sense.
Well, okay, if I don't know, if I showed you that there in fact was a dragon that lived in this valley that nobody ever traveled to, and you saw that with your own eyes, and I convinced you that dragons exist, would you be able to choose not to believe in dragons? Like, I don't know what that means. Like, if you see
That's a
something,
really weird argument. Like that has nothing to do with being able to take your life in whatever direction you want. Yeah, obviously if you see something like, yeah, I believe you exist because I'm talking to you. That has nothing to do with free will. That's just my perception. Like that's a really weird
well,
argument.
right, and you have the perception that God exists, but you're saying you could just choose not to believe in God. So just like how like it would just be a bizarre statement saying I could just choose to not believe in you. The reason you believe that I exist is because you're interacting with me right now.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with free will though. Like God gave you free will.
Oh, okay, but how do you know that? God could be some sort of entity that has no interest in free will, and he could have created the universe to be deterministic.
Bro, you were like freaking mathematically trying to make this so complicated. If God gave people the free will to be mass murderers, like that's proof right there. They weren't just programmed to go
Well,
kill people, they
okay,
chose to kill people because
okay,
they're angry about something. You're trying to
what's
play
the
5D
technical?
chess, but it's like not that complicated to understand. Like
So
I think anybody
I
could get.
asked you. So I asked you're question begging right now. So I asked you to provide evidence of free will, and we can even assume God exists in this scenario, just for the sake of argument. And your evidence for that was people can use their free will to be mass murderers. That's question begging because you're making an argument that assumes the truthfulness of the premise.
Fuck. So you want me to go kill somebody to prove to you that I can? Like
No,
what?
that would not be adequate proof. So this is a philosophical issue that has gone on for thousands of years. No one has been able to prove that free will does in fact exist.
Yo, chat. What do you guys make of that? But they have the free will to watch me right now. Like they're choosing to
That's
watch this
question begging.
conversation.
So
What is
again, you're
question
making
begging?
so question begging is making an argument where the premises assume the truthfulness of the conclusion.
So you're just enslaved to be a YouTuber. Like your whole YouTube channel does
I
not
am
have free will. You're
agnostic
like
as
forced
to
to
whether or
it.
not free will exists. It may exist, it might not exist, but if your argument for why it's okay to kill animals is that animals don't have free will, then I need you to provide evidence that human beings, in fact, have free will, and that's a trait unique to human beings.
Okay, so wait. So what's a good example? Okay, so I don't have free will. Okay, I could turn my camera off.
That's question
Oh,
begging.
that's free will. I could go mess up this whole bed. I could turn my fan on right now. Those are all choices that
Why
I could make because
why
it's
is
free
it
will.
assumed that any of the actions you're committing right now are due to an act of free will?
What do you mean? Because it's spontaneous and it doesn't make any sense. Like I could turn my light off. That's spontaneous. That
Well, the
makes
only
no
reason
sense.
you're
Why would I
doing
just do
that,
that?
well, by the way,
I
the
have
only reason
headphones
you're
right now.
doing that is
Split these in
because
half. That's
the
free will. I
only
could
reason
choose to
any
do
of this
that.
is happening is because somebody in my chat sent me a link to your YouTube, stream thing, and then you ended up getting in the call, and then we ended up having this discussion, and many of these circumstances you had no control over. You had no control
Wait, how'd you
over
find me? I was gonna
somebody
ask
in
you
my
that.
YouTube
How'd
chat
you like
sent
find me?
me a link to your stream. So a lot of these things that are
Oh,
happening, you
tell me
had
more.
absolutely no control over. Now you might possibly have had the choice to interact with me. You might have possibly had the choice to, get on call with me. But why would we assume that any of those things you did were in fact choices, including your choice to turn off your camera or turn off your lights? Because again, the whole set of circumstances that led to this weren't entirely your choices. So like me bringing up, this topic of free will and the arguments that I made.
That's just kind of stupid. Like I chose to go live, so things can happen, and that's the whole thing, right? About God. Like maybe God wanted us to have this conversation. So yeah, God can nudge you in certain ways. Don't get me wrong. He could guide you in certain ways, but at the end of
Did
the day, it's
God
up to you
want
if you're gonna
six
follow that
million
path.
Jews to get holocausted? Did God want children to get raped on a daily basis?
I mean, that's because humans have free will. Like the Nazis had free will to kill Jewish people. That's you're proving my point.
Okay, so do you think there are good ways to use free will or bad ways to use free will?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you, and that's why they send
So,
people to hell. God sends people to hell if they abuse their free will into a
Right.
bad
So do you
kind of
think
area.
God would send people to hell for killing their pet dog or cat?
Yeah, their pet dog or cat, but I feel like chickens and cows is kind of like
Okay,
food.
so can you name the trait that's lacking in a chicken or cow that, if lacking in a dog or cat, would justify killing a dog or cat?
Well, dogs and cats are pets, so they're not food.
Well,
Like
they don't
nobody has
have
a
free
pet
will
chicken or
according
a
to you,
pet
so
dog.
it's okay to kill any
Yeah, but
being that doesn't
nobody
have free
like
will.
cuddles with like a cow or like a chicken.
No, people do
And
cuddle with cows and
also,
chickens.
I don't think dogs and cats taste as good as cows. Like they don't taste as good as like insane.
You can ask a lot of Chinese people that question. Same with South Koreans. I don't know if they'd say otherwise.
Whoa! Are you insinuating that Chinese people eat dogs right
Yeah,
now?
they do.
Whoa!
So do South Koreans.
Whoa! That's a little bit racist, don't you think?
No, they do in fact eat dogs.
No,
So do
I've
South
actually never met
Koreans.
an
They also
Asian
eat
that eats
dogs in the
dogs. I've never
Philippines. There's some
I've never
places in
met
Europe that also
I've
eat
never met
dogs.
a Chinese person or Asian person that eats dogs. Never.
Have you met every single Chinese person on the face of the earth?
Yeah, but just to say that Chinese people eat dogs, like, come on.
Okay, do Americans eat burgers?
Now, some Americans, yeah.
Okay, well, then there's some Chinese people who eat dogs.
Well, yeah.
So,
There are some
again,
Chinese people that eat dogs.
I just find it a little confusing that you said that animals don't have free will, therefore it's okay to kill them, but then dogs and cats don't have free will, but it's not okay to kill them. And I do not see, I don't think anybody in your chat even sees a substantive difference between dogs and cats and cows, chickens, pigs. Like, pigs are even more intelligent than dogs. They're commonly referred to as having roughly the intelligence of a 5-year-old child. They're quite intelligent animals.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my big thing is just steak like tastes pretty good.
Okay, but that is not a moral justification. So are you saying like taste pleasure justifies killing an animal? Because human beings taste pretty good according to some cannibal tribes.
Whoa.
Yeah, human
Yeah, no, we
beings are
shouldn't kill
referred
human
to as
beings.
long pig. Humans taste like pork.
They're referred to as what?
Long pig. They taste like pork.
Why did my mom just text me saying they do eat dogs and cats? Come on. Sorry, what did you just say?
So, if you're going to use taste pleasure as a justification to kill animals, then it would be okay to kill human beings because humans taste like pork.
Yeah, but humans are just like consciously above animals.
Okay. So you're fine with killing mentally disabled people? There are mentally disabled people who are so
I mean,
disabled
there's still
that they are
people,
mentally
but
below
there's a
animals.
reason. I mean, they do put people down that are like in like those like vegetable states, right? Like if their family.
Well, that's
consents
because
to it
they
and they've been
have
out for a
no
while and
ability to
coma.
have any kind of quality of life. But there are, in fact, mentally disabled
Sorry, you just
people.
cut out when you. Sorry, what did you just say?
Sorry,
They have no
that's
ability to
because
what?
they're bedridden and they have absolutely no quality of life. Like they're not conscious. So yeah, that's fine. That's essentially a mercy killing. But there are mentally disabled people who are conscious, who do have an ability to experience well-being, but they have less cognitive capability than a lot of animals. So are you saying it's okay to round up every severely mentally disabled people and turn them into bacon?
Well, I mean, obviously not. No, but
Then that
okay.
is a
So what would
contradiction
you say
because
was
you are
your-
claiming that it is both the case and not the case that cognitive capacity grants one a right to life.
What would you say? Well, like, what would your alternative be then? Because I don't think you get enough like nutrients and protein from like just eating tofu.
Okay,
Like,
buddy.
what even is
let's
tofu?
let's flex our guns on camera. Let's see who has more gains. All right? Do I look
Yeah,
like
but
I'm
you're
nutrient
older
deficient?
and you're on test though.
For
Why do you
5
look like Tristan
days.
Tate? You look
For
like Tristan Tate
5
for a while.
days.
Yeah, bro, you're blasting steroids. Of course you're gonna be big.
So for one thing, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a blast. And for 5 days, I literally went on August 1st. You're not going to see any big visual changes in literally 5 days. You can look at
what's so special about
literally.
August that made you want to take steroids?
Sorry.
What's so special about August that made you want to start taking steroids?
Well, there's nothing about August in particular. But again, like, look, you can look at my YouTube channel. I'm Vegan Gains. I'm well known in the fitness industry. Compare my physique and my lifts to all the other big, fitness YouTubers who eat meat. They're not as big and strong. So I've benched 410 pounds. Not many other dudes who've benched 410 pounds who are eating meat. Again, I have about 18-inch biceps. You can see my physique update videos and photos and shit. Anything posted before August 1st, that's me completely clean, 100% natural, lifelong. So if meat was this like amazing, special gateway to making gains, then everybody would be mogging me, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
My mom's in the chat saying I kind of agree with him. You're switching teams, mom. Come on.
Your mom's a smart
There's
woman.
one comment though that's pretty good. Say, do you care about a stranger as much as a family member? Like, would you rather have somebody kill your mom or somebody kill like a complete stranger?
Well, I'd rather have somebody kill a stranger because, family members matter
still
more to
human.
me.
Yeah, well, they're still like a human. So what makes you perceive that then?
Because they're not a family member.
Okay, so it's kind of like the same premise with an animal, right? Like humans, like they're more like relatable, more close to us than animals.
Not necessarily. You can ask members of your chat, would you rather have somebody kill your dog or would you rather somebody kill a random person? So I'm closer to...
Yeah, but your dog is different than a random cow or pig.
Well, sure. So if I had to choose between my cat dying and a random cow or pig dying, I'd rather the random cow or pig because I care more about my cat. Same as if I had to choose between a random person dying and my cat dying, I'd choose the random person because I care more about my cat.
Right. Yeah, but wait, what the hell? Yeah, somebody says we aren't closely related to animals. Yeah, I mean that's kind of true. Besides pets, 'cause
What do
pets
you
kinda, like, bond with
mean
and
we're
stuff.
not closely related to animals?
Like we're like so different than animals, you know? Like it's kind of like it's almost like God kind of spawned in cows as food.
So you're talking about like the Bible, Christianity, right?
Not necessarily Christianity, just like God in general. It feels like God just spawned in cows as food for us.
Okay, so do you believe in the creation myth of the Garden of Eden?
You said myth?
Yeah, well, it's a myth. But do you believe in the creation?
How do you know that?
The creation story in like the Bible?
Yeah, I would say it makes sense, but what makes you think like how do you know that it's a myth?
Well, because it's a stupid story made up by morons a few thousand years ago. But in any case, we can assume for the sake of argument it's true. So if you believe in the Garden of Eden and you believe in that story, what foods are eaten in a garden?
What foods are eaten in the garden?
Have you grown cows in your backyard, or were you growing tomatoes in your backyard garden?
Well, it depends if I was a farmer or not.
Well, that's not a garden, right? That's a farm. So Garden of Eden, it didn't say Farm of Eden, huh? Didn't say Slaughterhouse of Eden. Said Garden of Eden, so I fucking got you, buddy. You eat fruits and vegetables in a garden.
So are you saying like the first humans that like God created were eating like carrots and like vegetables?
According to your own creation myth, according to the Bible, yes, it is explicitly stated.
That. So wait, how are you gonna use that as an argument then if you don't even believe in it?
Well, you're the one who's claiming to believe in that. So by your own standards,
I'm not necessarily a Christian. I'm not necessarily a Christian though.
But you said you believe in the Garden of Eden creation myth. So if that's the myth you believe in, then again, you're the one arguing that God like created cows for us to eat. Well, if his original plan was to have us live in a garden and eat the foods in the garden, well, what foods are made in a garden? Yeah, it's fruits and vegetables, buddy. Like, get with the fucking program. This is all fruits and vegetables.
Bro, you clip farming, bro. Stop clip farming, man.
I'm not
Come
clip
on.
farming.
Dude, your chat's electric right now. Your chat is electric. Yeah, but like, fuck. Guys, help me. Yo, honestly, would you be down if I like get somebody who's like more qualified to debate you on my podcast?
Oh
Would you do that?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Where can I talk to you like off stream? Do you have Twitter or what do you have?
Well, I have a throwaway Twitter account. I don't really use it. I'd prefer Instagram. I am vegangains.real on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying I want to like hop off the call. I'm just saying like for the future.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, have you
I'll
seen
debate
me before
anybody.
or no?
Sorry?
Okay, have you seen my content before or no?
No, somebody just linked me your channel and said I should try to debate you.
Who was it that I think was it like Myron Gaines that was like debating you? I remember there's like somebody that like had beef with you or something, right?
Oh, Myron Gaines had a call-in stream where he said haters call in, and I was just pointing out that his argument about why it's okay for men to cheat was logically flawed, and then he didn't say anything and he just kicked me from the call.
Why'd he kick you from the call?
He couldn't make an argument. It's that simple.
Huh. I mean, I do a lot of streams with like Myron's current manager right now. He might be able to debate you even. I don't know if you know if he manages Fresh and Fair right now.
Veganism or something, I'd totally be down. I don't think we're like I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he says about dating, but I'm not really particularly interested in debating some of that stuff. I think he has some silly ideas there. But yeah, veganism.
No, it's not him. It's not him that would debate you. It's his manager. His manager also does. Like, do you know Gary, the numbers guy?
I'm not familiar with him.
Okay, he's like the numerologist. He's got like 2 million on TikTok.
Oh no, I know him. Yeah, numerology is just fucking stupid.
Why do you think that numerology is stupid? Maybe we could talk about that.
There's literally no evidence for it, and it has no predictive capability.
Wait, here's a good comment. Yes, Eden was vegan. Eden was vegan. It was after the flood with lack of vegetation. God allowed meats. It's permissible in the meantime. We will return to Eden's diet in heaven.
Well, you could now, like, assuming God wants us to live in the kind of way that he had planned in the Garden of Eden, wouldn't you be in his good graces if you acted in the way that he wanted you to act in the Garden of Eden? Like, wasn't the whole reason humans got kicked out of the Garden of Eden was because we did some things that he didn't want us to do or we were told not to? So, like, maybe if this is your, like, you know, religious belief that, like, we should live in alignment with God and, you know, the Garden of Eden was the perfect plan for us, why don't you stick to the fucking plan that your Sky Daddy laid out for you, who you say is the, like, ultimate arbiter of truth? So if you think God is so fucking smart...
Is this your Instagram?
Yeah, so there's a lot of fake ones. It's vegangains.real. Yeah, that should be there.
Real says about 3.3K? Okay, I'll follow you.
So again, if you believe in the Garden of Eden and you think God is the smart, all-knowing being, why don't you listen to the smart guy who said, just eat the fucking vegetables?
Don't they spray vegetables nowadays though with like a lot of like toxins and like poisons and cancer stuff?
I have not seen any evidence linking pesticides or herbicides to increased rates of cancer. In fact, the big one, the big scary chemical, Roundup, that's made by Monsanto. There's actually some cohort studies that show people who eat, this Roundup, sprayed crops, they have lower rates of cancer. And the people who are most exposed to this are going to be farmers. And lo and behold, the farmers that have the highest rates of exposure, they don't have like these massively inflated higher rates of cancer. So, and
Do you think it lowers your testosterone? Like, why do you think testosterone is like lowering so much?
well, it's probably primarily from obesity. So if you have more adipose tissue on your body, you're going to aromatize testosterone more, and that's going to create a negative feedback loop where your body produces less. It's possible that there is
Yeah.
also a combination of effects going on. So some of these chemicals might be endocrine disrupting in some sense, but they tend to accumulate in your fatty tissue. So that might make obesity that much more dangerous, but obesity is the primary concern, not some of these pollutants. So as long as you can avoid obesity, you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah. So you think more people are getting fatter and therefore it's making the average of low testosterone go down and down and down?
That's where, like, that's really the only evidence that you can point to. I know there's some researchers who say the reduction in testosterone is outpacing obesity. But again, there could be a synergistic effect between obesity and some of these endocrine disrupting pollutants. So obesity is the big bad that you want to avoid, and the endocrine disrupting pollutants are the little sprinkle on top that are making things worse. But as long as you can avoid obesity, you're probably going to be fine.
Mm. Do you think that there's like an agenda to like make men's testosterone lower to like control people easier?
I don't think there's some kind of crazy conspiracy where chemical companies are releasing pollutants and stuff in the environment to lower men's testosterone. If that were the case, TRT clinics would not be popping up all over the fucking place. You would not be able to order testosterone online. So,
Oh, or maybe they're popping up all over the place because they're making money when people have to pay for TRT because their test is low because the lifestyle was implemented to lower their testosterone. Like, how come our testosterone is so much lower than our
but
ancestors?
yeah,
Like 20
well,
years
first of
ago,
all,
like
we don't know that.
100 years
We only
ago.
know that testosterone levels have been declining since the 1960s. I think that's
Yeah,
how
and how
far the
come in the
data goes back.
1960s our ancestors had like 2,000 nanograms
Well,
of testosterone? Like,
it's kind
I'm
of
pretty
weird
sure.
calling them their ancestors. That would be like your dad and grandpa. But yeah, nobody knows what like a caveman's testosterone would be. We have no idea because we can't
Probably
test
pretty
their
high.
serum. It may have not have been. Nobody really knows. Like these are also people who struggled to survive and were under a lot of stress. Probably had trouble sleeping because they were being hunted by other predatory animals and had like famines to deal with. So stress, lack of sleep, and lack of nutrition. That's probably going to lower your test. So who knows if cavemen had high testosterone or not. But again, the point you made was that, like, I don't know, there's some big conspiracy to lower men's testosterone. If that were the case, there wouldn't be TRT clinics popping up. So your excuse for that was, yeah, but then they can make money. Well, then their interest isn't to lower everyone's testosterone, it's to make money.
What was your testosterone before you hopped on? Like what was your testosterone
So
measurement?
it was 540. It's basically smack dab in
Oh,
the
that's
normal
kind of
range.
that's kind of low.
No, 540 is smack dab in the normal range. You're generally going to see most
Yeah, but do
people
you want to be in
between.
the normal range? Because you know the normal range is all age groups. So the normal range contains like 80-year-olds too, which influences the
Well,
average. Like if you're
yeah.
in the normal range,
No,
that's
no, no,
not
no,
good.
no. You're misunderstanding. So you can look this up. There's a normal range. It ranges from about 250 at the very low end to about 1,000, depending on what lab you're going with. It might be a little lower, like 900 to 1,100. In each age strata, what you tend to find is that the low, like the bottom 5% tends to be higher. So the people who are about 2 standard deviations from the mean, they tend to be higher in each age strata. So the bottom 5% in like 15 to 20-year-old age group might be around 400. The bottom 5% in a 20 to 30 age group might be around like 350. The bottom 5% in a 30 to 40 age group might be like 300. But that range still stays the same. So again, 540.
Well, that just shows you that eating like your diet puts you pretty average testosterone. But why would you not want to be above average? Like it's not even just like a
What's
muscle
the
thing. Like,
evidence?
yeah, sure, you're jacked, but having high testosterone is honestly more of a mental thing. You're more likely to take risks. You're more likely to want to dominate in your field.
So
right?
yeah, there are benefits with having higher testosterone. I'm not sure if you would see those benefits without actually injecting testosterone because it functions differently in your body. Your testosterone's constantly elevated. In a normal individual, not on TRT or anything, you're going to get a spike in the morning and it's going to dip. So it functions differently in your body. I don't know if those same cognitive benefits would be present in a normal human being versus somebody who's enhanced and on TRT. But assuming there is a benefit, I don't know why I would think eating meat would increase my testosterone because, again, the largest study on the subject, I think it's titled low IGF-1 in vegans, but normal, free, and total androgens. Study title is something like that. Again, there was no association between a vegan diet, low testosterone. They actually had higher testosterone, both free and total. And there was no association between dietary cholesterol consumption, serum cholesterol, and testosterone. So I don't know why I would assume a vegan diet would lower my test.
So what do you think about this guy then that says cholesterol is a building block of testosterone and his testosterone's 1300 naturally with not taking any steroids, 1300 naturally, eating meat and eggs.
So there are people who just produce a lot of testosterone. Where's his evidence?
No. Look at this guy's transformation. He used to be a soy boy. He did a test. He was at 600 testosterone. He started not drinking, eating beef and eggs.
Oh, well, you know what? I should
more than
mention.
doubled his test.
Okay, you know what? I should mention this too. Is this guy on like a carnivore diet and is he eating a lot of dairy? Like cream, full fat milk?
Raw milk.
Yeah,
raw milk, fruit, eggs, and beef.
So here's what happens. Particularly with dairy, this is the case. It can raise SHBG. So your sex hormone binding globulin can increase massively, especially with these carnivore dieters that are on these like retard fucking diets. So all they're eating is steak and then they can't get enough calories. So then they resort to eating high fat dairy to get in the rest of their calories so they don't lose weight. That dairy is raising their SHBG. Sex hormone binding globulin prevents your testosterone from working. So what can happen is your total test can go up, and pretty substantially, but your actual testosterone that you can use doesn't change. So you've done nothing. You've raised your total test, but you did nothing. You just raised your SHBG. And in fact, free androgens might actually be lower, so you're not doing anything beneficial for yourself. It also could be the case that you just was eating.
Got high test though.
Sorry?
You could literally tell he's got high testosterone.
Well, no, you can't. Look at the video Jeff Nipper just put out with those like natural bodybuilders that look like they're on steroids. Most of them had a testosterone level of like around 400 to 500, like lower than mine. And the one guy who was one of the skinniest in the entire group, he had the highest score at like 940. So no, you can't. You can't tell if somebody has high testosterone just from looking at them. Unless...
No, it's not like a physical thing. It's just like the way that somebody talks or like kind of asserts themselves, right? Like it's more like a mental thing than like a physical thing.
Look, everyone is different. Everybody has their own like background, upbringing, cultural, personal problems, and how these hormones interact in their brain are all different. Buddy, I know a dude, he is the most jacked fucking natural human being I've ever seen. He's a vegan guy. His total testosterone, the last time he got it checked, was 1,200. This guy is a fucking freak of nature. He's like a mix of every race. He's like part Afghan, I think some Chinese and a bunch of other shit. Um, he's being abused by a bunch of his ex-girlfriends, and he doesn't know how to stand up for himself. And he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Like it doesn't mean anything. So yeah, there's an association with higher testosterone and like more masculine type behavior, but like look, you can find women who are, Marines who've shot and killed people who are hardcore as fuck, but they look like pretty girls. Like you never know, who you're actually meeting, what their psychology is like. There's a little bit of there is an association with these hormones and how people behave, but it doesn't. You can't know just because, oh, well, you've got high test.
Honestly, that's actually a really good point that you make. Yeah, I think mental has way more of an influence than just like your hormones. I actually agree with you there for sure.
Oh,
But
I have a cat. Cat is being silly. I hope
what?
he comes over here so that I can show you my cat. Come here, Gum Gum. Gum Gum.
Yo,
Come
your
here.
chat's so awesome. Yo, do you guys know me or no? Do you guys know my channel or not?
Look at this cat.
My name is Tyson Hockley. I do content. I've done a podcast with Sneeko. I'm followed by both Andrew and Tristan Tate on Twitter, doing a podcast with them soon. And yeah, this might be people's first time hearing about me, but
Well, look at this
I'm
cat.
17 and I'm drowning.
Well,
How about
look
you,
at
cat though? You should have him for dinner.
so look at this cat. He's 15 pounds, absolutely massive, and he's on a vegan diet. So if this cat can be on a vegan diet, you can be on a vegan diet too.
You should eat your cat.
I am absolutely not going to do that. I'll feed you to my cat before I'd ever consider eating my own cat.
How much does somebody have to pay you to eat your cat?
Oh, there's no price that you could give me.
Seriously? Would you rather like me drop dead or your cat drop dead?
Oh, I'd rather you drop dead.
Why?
Well, you eat meat, so I know if you die, no more animals are going to die because of you. And I like my cat more than you.
But people are still gonna eat meat though,
Yeah, but
even if
you
I
won't.
die.
Yeah, you won't if you're dead.
So are you saying it would benefit the planet if I die?
Yeah. Well, it would benefit the animals.
So would you care more about my life or the animal's life?
Depends on the animal. But yeah, most animals I'd rather save them than you.
But I'm a human. We just talked for like an hour. We're friends now.
Oh, I don't think people are special in any way. Again, I'm vegan. I think in cases where we'd grant animals rights, we'd grant in cases where we'd grant humans rights, we'd grant animals rights. Since you're killing animals, no, why would I have an interest in letting you live?
I'm not killing animals. I'm just eating steak.
No, you're killing animals. That necessitates animals dying.
Well, if I don't eat steak, more people are still gonna eat steak. Like the same amount of animals is still gonna die.
No, that's like saying, oh well, people will still kill each other. There's wars going on. So what difference does it make if I go out and commit serial killings? Like, no, that's not how that works. It's called supply and demand.
Oh, so how many cows do you think you've saved?
According to PETA, I think your average person saves somewhere between 60 to like 90 animals per year by going vegan. I don't know how many cows that would be
What if I told you I
specifically.
don't think you've saved a single cow?
Oh, I definitely have, especially since I've convinced people to go vegan.
I don't think you've saved any cows.
Oh, I have.
But don't you think it kind of gets counterbalanced by like testosterone people that say eat beef, like it kind of gets countered.
Well, again, I'm no smaller, no weaker than any of these people back when I was natural. And again, the research doesn't lie. There's no association between eating meat, dietary cholesterol, serum cholesterol, and free and total androgens.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, dude, I think we might end this here. Dude, you seem like a cool guy. Like genuinely, I know like I'm trying to like do the stream thing and be silly or whatever, but you seem like a good guy. I followed you on Instagram.
All right.
Let me know if you got that or if it's like the right account or whatever it should be. But I guess I'll stay in contact with you there. I just think it's so weird because I haven't streamed in a while, and then I stream, and now all of a sudden, boom! Like I
Yeah,
just pull up your
just
thing and you're like
message me
watching
and
me.
I'll add you and follow you back.
Yeah, is that the right account or no? Like, do you see my follow or no?
Let me see. Tyson Hockley, yeah, that's the right account.
All right, all right, hell yeah. Do I earn a follow back or
Yeah, I'll
no?
follow you back.
Oh, I do. Let's go. Hell yeah. Appreciate you, brother. All right, guys. God bless all of you guys in the chat. You guys, you seem like you have a pretty good, vibrant chat. So, even though you guys are all like hating on me, somebody says, wait, somebody said, go vegan. I'll sub to you. Okay, I'm vegan now. Come sub.
You have to
Somebody says this
actually
guy
go
has a
vegan. We'll
following?
be able to
Question mark.
tell.
Wait, do you think these guys will all sub to my channel if I become vegan? Should I do like a vegan arc on my channel?
Yes, but they'll be able to tell if you're lying.
How? Because I'll get
Veganism
small. Oh yeah, because
unlocks
I'll probably get
powers
smaller.
that some people consider unnatural.
You what?
Veganism unlocks powers that some would consider unnatural.
Like what? Wait, what? Expand on that.
You know, the dark side of the Force. We're like the Sith. We can just tell. We use the Force. We can tell who really is
You just like look
vegan
in
or
someone's
not.
eyes and tell if they're vegan or not.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, so ain't no cheat in that system then. All right, dude. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do like a honestly, even if I just like do like a 30-day vegan challenge. Should I do that?
Yeah, why not? I think it's worth it. Just make sure you
Okay.
eat some good food, get some tofu and shit.
Okay. You know what? If we could get to 34,000 subscribers by the end of the stream, I would go 30 days vegan. You have my word.
How about you
And you'll be
just
able to tell.
fucking do it, dude? All you gotta do is just fucking do it.
But I don't want to. Like, there's got to be an incentive. You
No,
guys
no,
gotta
no,
sub.
you want to. You wouldn't want to cause harm to animals. And I think you'll just feel better having these nice, clean shits every time you go to the bathroom. It's underrated.
Oh, I have nice clean shits.
Oh, they'll be even more fantastic after you go vegan, dude. More
You know, the
fruits and
first thing I do
vegetables
after I get off the
always
stream
makes
is
things better.
I have a bowl of ground beef ready for me. I'm gonna put some salt in it.
Now, go to the store, get you some packs of extra firm tofu, and go from there.
Tofu just sounds so gay though. Like I'm gonna go eat
No.
tofu.
Tofu is manly as fuck.
Why?
Beef is for
How?
betas.
You're just saying stuff now, bro.
Look,
How
it,
is
it,
tofu manly?
so beef, beta, it rhymes. Tofu, testosterone. Look, there's a reason it starts with a T. Got some tofu right here.
Tofu testosterone. That's tofu? How does that taste?
Great. I put some Korean barbecue sauce on it. It's fucking awesome.
So you gotta put a bunch of sauce on it. You know, you look like Hide the Pain Harold when you take a bite of that and say it's great. That's what you look like. You
No,
look
it's
like Hide
awesome.
the Pain Harold. Is it really awesome or are you just saying that?
No, it's great. I
Because
fucking
I've
love
had
it. I eat
tofu
it every
before,
day.
it's disgusting. All right, brother. I do appreciate your time, though. This has been a pretty cool conversation. Very random. Very, very random. I literally just opened your chat because somebody in my chat was saying to debate you. I opened your thing and you're watching me. I'm like, oh my God. That's so weird.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe we could do it again sometime. But take care.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'll
keep making those vegan, or start making those vegan gains.
okay. I'll DM you on IG if I find some people for you to potentially debate too.
All right. I'm down. Take care, dude. All right. That was a nice discussion with a young lad. How do I get my camera to work again? Oh, activate. There we go. All right, let's get back to doing what we were doing.
People seriously believe that nihilism means it's okay to kill people.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know what nihilism is, so... Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
This whole God idea is just dumb. If nobody sold you the idea of God, you would never know God exists.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Thanks for the donation.
If this guy were any more dumb and dishonest, I think my brain would have actually collapsed and exploded from listening to him. Dude can't even think of his own arguments, had to go to chat for help cause his brain busted. FML, I just wanna slap a strawberry.
Well, most people are not good debaters, and especially somebody his age. You're not really going to be able to expect much, but thanks for the donation.